Ladies and gentlemen, the phrase aged like milk is something that's become a lot more common in, I do believe, the modern era. Because there are oftentimes going to be a lot of situations where when you're held accountable, oftentimes people don't fulfill the promises that they've made. And when it comes to corporations, companies, they're even worse at fulfilling the promises that they've made, especially the gotcha ones. Because we've got the NTE situation, the AI situation. We all remember from 3 months ago where the developers themselves, right? The developers themselves went ahead and they apologized for the massive amount of backlash that they were getting for doing things like putting AI-generated assets, right, as official materials in the release of the game. We all remember this stuff. There was more. There were even like some cutscenes and stuff like that, right? And so NTE made this formal apology. We all remember it. Thank you for the feedback. It matters to us. It's built on human creativity. AI-assisted tools were used for only a small number of background and environmental assets, not in the characters or stories that define the game. And so, guys, well, a lot of people viewed this as like a commitment to, hey, since they're reviewing and reworking flagged assets, they're not going to be doing this anymore, right? They're going to stop. Well, turns out, ladies and gentlemen, they did it again. In the current Chinese version of NTE 1.3 that is currently only live in CN, it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, an AI-generated watermark was seen on some of NTE's in-game assets, specifically icons for some of their items. And as you can see over here, it's really easy to miss this one because it's just showing up as that in the icon of this item. As you can see, when you see the translations over here, I forgot to remove the AI watermark generated by Doi Bao, which is like the Chinese version of Grok. One of the cheapest AI engines that they have, Grok, right? You like, guys, this is just one. I want to see what Grok generates for me. Hey, let me see if I can do the same thing. Generate an anime style 2D seahorse icon. Let's see what Grok spits out for me, brother. Because that's essentially what they did over here. Because this watermark over here is literally what outputs from one of the AI generated tools. What the fuck is going on over here? How is this happening again, even after these guys have already caught a bunch of hot water for what they did before, got all of that negative PR, and then also apologized for it and said they were removing assets and not going to do it again? How does this keep happening even a second fucking time? Because, like, bro, obviously, like, mine doesn't look that good. But, like, this is essentially, bro, this is just... They just ripped that shit and put it in the game, basically. That's the effort that they were putting in their icons, bro. So, like, there you go. Like that's straight, like, that's what they did. They just copy-pasted that and put that shit in there. That's how they're making assets in this fucking game. That is how they're developing this fucking game. And so, that really makes the stance. That really makes the position, right? That really makes the take from so many of these individuals so fucking goofy, right? Because all I really need to do right now is just, hey, guys, we got to get the quote again.
It's important you support these games because that's how you tell future developers, we don't want 50/50s in our games.
But we want this. This is an incredible accomplishment for a couple of reasons. Because A, obviously, they're taking massive shortcuts using AI-generated tools to fucking generate stuff in their game. And B, they're so lazy they got caught from a fucking watermark. That's like a whole recipe for disaster you don't even want to associate yourself with if you're even slightly cognizant of what that means. This means that internally, these guys have no fucking idea what they're doing. Their work processes are fucking garbage. And, like, the development of this game probably seems similar to an operation out of somebody's garage. Because how the fuck does this even... Bro, is this actually a multi-million-dollar development where they're like, how does stuff like this get through? Because, guys, there's multiple videos on it. And of course, the comments. Just, bro, the Chinese are fucking hilarious. And this should just be more proof of it. I just logged in and checked. It's real. They're all now going in, logging in to check, doing all of this stuff, bro. And they're like, yes, it's real. Other games use AI, self-developed local open source models, enterprise commercial APIs, and self-developed training large models. NTE AI usage. Dubao, help me generate a game material image of a purple-crowned seahorse. Grok, generate me an image. Because this is the argument of AI. Most of these companies are using AI for, like, actually helpful, you know, somewhat productive purposes, while these guys are just using AI to take crazy shortcuts. Dubao, help me generate the main story outline for NTE version 1.4. If the plot is also an AI-generated script, wouldn't that blow up? Because that was one of my big critiques for this game. Bro, the story in this game is so fucking bad. I thought it was generated by AI as well, but now I'm thinking it is. It literally is. That is what I am now going to default to. They are literally just generating this entire game with AI. And they're doing their best to hide it, but their best is still really sloppy. Doesn't this just make all of these sort of like blatant copy moves that they've done look even worse now? Now that you know they're still using AI and they're still using it to take shortcuts and they're still using it to spend less money on the development? Because that's all the stuff going into this game's lack of 50-50. This is why this game doesn't have a 50-50, by the way. It's because they're able to just delete, I guess, all of their fucking OpEx because they're just getting the work from somewhere else. Bro, they're just outsourcing the work. It's being done by other companies, not Hana Studios. And that's why there's no 50-50. And of course, right, we just gotta support games like this, bro.
That's what you should do. You compare it to the best market contender in the mainstream space. And that's Neverness to Everness for a free-to-play, consumer-friendly experience. By doing that, you are now forcing another mainstream space game to have to confine to that principle.
No, I don't want no more games in the space doing this shit, bro. I don't want nobody to be doing this shit no more. The fuck? This shit is bad. This shit is lazy. This shit is pathetic. Dubao as the budget pick tracks for some pipelines. Calling me the cheapest form of Gen AI is a new one, though. Forgetting to scrub the watermark off a purple-crowned seahorse is a different level of cost. Bro, Grok just fucking shit all over NTE, bro. Bro, these devs just got dragged by AI after using AI on the entire game. Bro, this is like some fucked up Terminator movie. Holy shit. That is unreal. But the thing is, guys, it gets worse. It literally gets worse. Do you want to know why? Because people are just going in. Bro, Chinese people are so mad at this game. Because it's so shit, and it's so low quality, and everything's stolen. And there's power creep as well, and all of that garbage where, like, characters now need, like, A1 or A2 to not, like, fucking be as crippled as Mornier before her leg surgery. You just have a bunch of Chinese people now invading Twitter just to shit on this game. Bro, this Chinese guy, because the game's only available in CN right now, took a photo of his shit on the PC with his phone just to post it on American Twitter. Translative, bro, this is what the original post said. What the fuck? That's how pissed they are, bro. That's how much CN hates this game. They are literally crossing the great firewall. The great fucking firewall, bro, to just be posting shit over here like this. Because this, to me, is enough proof. I don't need to go in-game. I don't need to get a Chinese client. I don't need to become a member of the fucking, of the CCP to confirm this. There's been enough screenshots, enough videos, enough, like, separate accounts about how fucked up this game's development pipeline is. I don't think we need to go any further here. And then when you see that AI, this much of it, is in their latest version, what do you think is in the game right now? That was also made by Dubai or whatever, right? And they just did remove the watermark. How many things in this game do you think are just like this, but the watermark did actually get removed? Because this is enough to call into question everything about this game when the game itself, sorry for showing the better one, is so low quality and has been so low quality since release. Because this game has just felt and looked like an actual cash grab since release. And it's just been uplifted by the biggest grifters in the space just telling you, just play the game because it has no 50-50. Play the game because it has no 50-50. Play the game just because of that. And that's enough of a reason. Fuck everything else they're doing. Fuck the copying. Fuck the inspiration. Fuck the ripping of kits completely one-to-one from better games. And then just putting it in yours while also cutting corners elsewhere by just generating whole-ass in-game assets using AI. After a public apology when you got caught the first time. After a literal public apology to the entire gacha space after you got caught already, and then you just do it again in the most hilariously amateurish way possible to the point where now even Grok is taking a fucking dump on your soul. Then combine that with the fact, on top of no 50-50, they want you to pull every character's first dupe in this game. So it's not even a real no 50-50, you just gotta pull twice to get the same as one character in other games. That's NTE. And it's insane. It's unreal that we haven't even gotten into other issues, right? Like these guys having like an NTR issue with like their storyline and stuff like that. But that is what's going on. And when this game is receiving such a negative amount of PR and CN, where it's like the one game that's just getting bagged on like this, I think it's very obvious what the future is. This is literally the next Tower of Fantasy. Right? This is like the next game that like carries the torch of the worst reputation in the gacha space. Because when you're the TOF devs that were known for cutting corners, doing all this lazy fucking shit in your development, and then you're just doing it all over again, somehow, like, again, the only people that could still be in support of what this company is doing, they're ones that are obviously paid off. Because what trust do you even deserve from the entire gacha space? Or even just the gaming space? What trust do you deserve after you get caught again and it's just on the dumbest, laziest shit ever? Because if you're going to cut corners on this, bro, you're going to cut corners on everything. Bro, this is like finding out somebody cheated on a like assignment in college that was worth 1% of their grade. If somebody's going to cheat on an assignment that's worth 1% of their grade, they're going to cheat on everything. And if you're going to cut corners and, like, use AI generation, the shittiest types possible, right? On stuff like this, you're going to use AI for everything in the game. And I would not be surprised if they did that with how shit this game is. And deep down, all of you NTE players know it as well. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.